Yeah, they're all in the school uniform, so this is definitely new.
Yeah.
Oh, and they kind of got Alisa's fingers through her hair thing. Her little mini tail. Hi, I guess we've started. What's up?
Not much. I guess we're cutting back to the school.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. I don't know what. The progression of this game has gotten a little weird. The last couple of last chapter or two, just kind of, Erebonia is known for its trains. It did go off the rails a little bit.
All right, place your bets. Are we going to go back to before or after the divertissement?
I don't know. Like, it could easily be either way.
I'm going to say before. This is before Reen goes skulking around doing bullshit in other countries.
The school uniforms do suggest that because he was like, I am part of class. No, I'm not. So it does kind of imply school was back in session. So I guess we'll find out. maybe it's finally time to go to the old schoolhouse and really take care of things again.
Gotta make sure nobody grows more Valimars down there.
Oh god, it's just lousy with Valimars. a Valimar infestation. Just little baby divine knights crawling all over the walls.
We gotta fumigate the old schoolhouse. There's just magic knights everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, there's a higher elements leak. Alright, let's go and investigate. The side story end, so it's not telling me what the next chapter is. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, we were Lloyd and Rishia, and then we deleted the internet for some reason. We deleted some of the internet and saved it locally, and then Reen and Daltina showed up, and we fought them, and Reen killed the internet for real. I don't know. That was all very strange.
Still don't quite have everything down.
It's just a filler episode to advertise our other series.
They literally looked directly into the camera at one point and named every character. I'm still mad about that.
Who could forget Dudley?
And the Chief and Tio and...
Good night, Tio. Good night, Randy. Let's get this out of the way.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. What comes next?
Scrolling back? No.
No, I guess it's just after.
Okay. That's a cool ass train. That is an evil train.
Yeah, you would shoot this thing down in wild guns.
You would be on the other track having a battle. Oh, shadows do not like whatever's going on here.
No.
So you haven't seen her since then. Who are we talking about here? Elise?
I don't think he said her. I think he said you two haven't spoken since. Because I think that means the Chancellor.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I thought he gendered it, but it's fine.
I'd have to check.
Sorry about that, Valimar. Can't imagine it was a very pleasant trip for you, all bound up like that.
No, I like that now.
It did not present a problem.
See?
I I will now enter an inactive state and allow the mechanics to perform maintenance.
Yes, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Reen, you've awakened all sorts
Well
of
then,
weird crap
I'll
in
leave
him
him
by
with
letting
you.
Alisa inside.
That's a hell of a sentence. Okay.
Sure thing. We'll take good care of him.
Okay, skinny gruff George.
By the way, it's a real honor to be entrusted with the famous Ashen Knight.
What are these accents?
Extra. They come from Mechanicia.
Welcome back, Reen. You must be exhausted.
All right.
Not really. I barely did anything. Everything went off without a hitch, mostly thanks to Valimar's power.
Ah.
Not to mention the planning of your people.
You're annoyed, I take it,
No.
by the way we do things.
Not really. Regardless of the means, the war coming to a swift end was a good thing for everyone. As for what happened to Crossbell, I'm not in any position to talk. No, those aren't what bother me. I can buy that you had no idea Rufus was an Ironblood. But did you really not know about my real father?
I didn't have any hard evidence, but I did suspect that might be the case. You just seemed somehow similar. The air about you, your facial features. I was always puzzled by how fascinated he was by your class as well.
I see. Excuse me then.
Right.
I mean, it was an interestingly weird class.
Yeah.
That wasn't the only reason I worried about you, you know.
Oh, God.
Not that I could possibly tell him that.
Claire, remember, it wasn't a fucking date.
Please don't be his mother.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, I know
She
she's
doesn't-
too young for that, but just
Yeah,
like...
she would have been like 5. There would need to be time travel shenanigans.
I'm behaving like such a child. It's hard to believe it's been a whole month since I was here last.
So are we contrasting the last time he showed up and like the whole town ran up and went, "Oh, it's Reen in class 7, yay, woo!" And this time he's coming in, there's nobody, and it's all sad.
Guess it didn't snow after all. It's not like the excitement of that day has faded away or anything. So why? Why do I feel so cold? Huh? Oh, Lino flowers.
Welcome back, Reen.
Hey, you want to tell us where you went for a month?
Huh?
Welcome back.
What are you doing standing there? It's not like you to wallow in nostalgia. Did the flowers get to you?
You all came to see me.
They started budding just yesterday. Should be in full bloom in about a week. Guess some of them couldn't wait.
Metaphors.
I guess not. It's good to be back, you guys.
Agreed. We're all so happy to see you again.
You must be wiped out after all you did, though.
I'm fine, actually. It really wasn't that tough.
I mean, we did lose, but then I called Valimar and it was fine.
Still, did all of you really come out here just to welcome me back?
Why wouldn't we?
It's not like we second years have any lessons to worry about this time of year.
Also, I was expelled.
Besides, I already had to come out here because of Valimar, so I figured I might as well say hi to you too.
Technically, the first years are supposed to be in class right now, but I turned it into a self-study period instead. And that was only possible because everyone's favorite captain told us exactly when you'd be arriving.
Really now? It's nice to see you here too, Celine.
Is it?
Well, don't think I went out of my way to be here or anything. But given the way that you were acting when you left, I was a little worried about you. I mean, I wasn't. Not at all.
Still, thanks everyone.
So what now? Going back to your dorm for some well-earned rest?
We can carry your stuff for you if you want.
And we can carry you, really.
Most of us are taller than you.
No, I'm fine. You said that class is in session right now, right? I'm a student, so I might as well attend. I mean, I have been absent for a month now.
It's okay, your dad made us pass you.
Wow, you're no fun at all. I was hoping we could skip the whole class thing and get to the welcome back party.
I like that idea. Come on, it's party time!
Am I the only one who cares about studying at this school?
We're just gonna learn basic arithmetic. It's just gonna be like, Angelica stole 40 cakes.
Well, maybe we can hold the party tonight instead.
In that case, we should probably head back to the academy.
I guess in that metaphor, it would be Crow. Crow would absolutely steal 40 cakes, and it would be terrible.
And he would pull it along on a little cart just to make a scene.
Oh, by the way, Reen, it's nice to have you back.
Thanks.
I exceeded your rank in fishing, by the way.
It's good to be back.
Is that the full payoff?
I can only assume there's like when we're all the way done, there's gonna be something else. Winter's End. Wasn't that a Wheel of Time book?
I'll never forget those days.
Winter's Heart, I think.
Okay, that was it, yeah.
The final weeks we spent together as a class are like dazzling jewels forever etched into my memories.
Please leave the metaphors to Elliot.
I cherished every last moment. I never wanted it to come to an end. But time stops for no one. The minutes and hours kept passing, and our days together were slowly coming to a close.
Hours, days together.
I was trying not to call it out.
After what happened, Valflame Palace soon returned to its original form. It was almost as if everything that took place there was some sort of dream. People's memories of that day started becoming vague. Many were convinced it was some kind of collective hallucination. That may have been in part a result of the chaotic days that followed, brought about by the Chancellor and Rufus.
But it's probably witch shit. Let's be real.
Or just people having their mana sucked out of them on the street.
After the war, the entire country feared that Calvard would invade Crossbell and try to take it for its own. Using that to his advantage, Rufus quickly convinced the nobility to support him, pledged to cooperate with the Chancellor. And in January 1205, the combined forces of both Imperial and Provincial armies invaded Crossbell. Crossbell no longer possessed the weapon of mass destruction that had annihilated Gorelia Fortress.
This is a hell of an image.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Rufus. Settle down a little bit, please.
Thanks to that, the city was occupied in a mere day, with no blood shed. Calvard was quick to react, sending countless airships to try and drive the Imperial forces out.
And then there was bloodshed.
However, between Rufus's leadership and the combined might of the tanks and soldats under his command, they were quickly repelled. As for me, Chancellor Osborne's words became the reality. Valimar and I were heralded as those responsible for Heimdall's liberation. And as the purported hero to the nation, I'd received and accepted a request in February to back up our forces in Crossbell. It was there that I found myself suddenly leading numerous soldats in fighting off the Republican army. Before I knew it, everyone around me was referring to me as the Ashen Chevalier.
Our hero. I love that doofy picture of Reen.
Time kept flowing, and mid-March came.
He's just sitting there smiling like, hi, I'm the protagonist.
The month in which Class 7 would finally say their goodbyes.
It's definitely something they pulled from the yearbook rather than getting a fresh one.
And that brings our history review right up to the dawn of the modern era. Next week, we'll be covering the 50-year period from the Orbital Revolution up to the present day. We're blowing through this material a lot more quickly than I would otherwise, so try to keep up with your reading. Oh, and Emma and Machias, if you see anyone struggling, try to help them out, okay?
He's just like, you can say my name.
I fully intend to.
Leave it to us. I've got plenty of good reference books on the subject.
Of course you do.
That would be very helpful, actually.
Sounds like a pain. Oh well.
I do happen to have a few gaps in my knowledge of the Revolution.
I should be able to help out with the technological side of things if you guys need it.
What? The technological side of what?
The Orbital Revolution.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. I thought she meant like I thought she meant like studying. That's like you guys aren't there yet.
If you guys can't work a book, I'm over here.
I'm guessing we're gonna run into that Schmidt guy's name a lot too.
Well, he was one of the 3 leading disciples of Professor Epstein, so yeah.
It'll feel strange seeing his name in textbooks, knowing how he is in real life.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to think we were able to meet him, though.
You met the Emperor.
All right, like I said, I'll be giving a quiz next week on everything we've covered up to now, which means it'll cover quadratic functions, factorizations, sets, logic, and probability.
He's just asleep.
Oh, and if I'm feeling really mean, there might be a little calculus in there. So, study for this one.
Good read.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm getting depressed just thinking about it.
Sounds more like he's reciting some kind of curse.
It is all material we've covered in class before, you know.
It'll be worth going over the most basic formulas at the very least.
Oh god, they'll know. It's too much. They're gonna know. Oh good, politics and ethics from our most ethical teacher.
That sums up this lecture on the structure of the stock market in Erebonia. Next week, we will hurry on and study unemployment and inflation problems.
In fact, here's the Cliff's notes. They're lazy.
Professor, did you know I beat up your waifu a few weeks ago?
You're also going to be taking part in a debate on those issues. So make sure each of you are well prepared.
He's just torn because he doesn't know whether he should be excited that they met or horrified at the situation.
I got some of her hair.
Oh, ew. No.
That's how you bribe him.
Only Altina would collect her hair, and it would be for something very sinister.
What kind of debate? A debate. It's when people are divided into groups for and against something, then they argue their viewpoints.
I have S breaks for that. Oh, do you get a voice now?
After much consideration, I've decided we will use our remaining time to listen to and enjoy music from all manner of genres.
I give up. I'm barely a teacher.
From famous
First up,
classics to
Detroit
popular
techno.
modern music, I've gathered records of all kinds for you to enjoy. I even managed to borrow music from a hot new genre like heaving metal, I believe it's called. Oh, I wonder what that sounds like.
I need you to tell me how this differs from Chicago House.
Nice work, guys. You poor kids must be exhausted. Feels like all your other instructors are dead set on cramming your brains with as much material as humanly possible.
I want to crawl into a hole and die.
You said it.
Still, this is exactly how we wanted it.
Is it?
Right. They're doing it for our sake, so I don't mind it so much.
There's no way we could cover everything in class, so it's sweet of them to give us the bullet points while they still can. It's paying off for us in the long run, yeah, so we owe them a lot.
Forcing you to try and keep up with us is a little unfair of us, though.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do all of this again next year.
And you're so dumb.
Are you sure you're fine with this arrangement?
Oh my god, he's Crow.
Of course. This is to my benefit, too. If I get all of this crammed into my head now, maybe I can even come out on top on next year's midterms.
Well...
So why is he being held back?
Probably because he missed 4 months as opposed to 3.
I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised if you actually did it, though.
He did come in 7th in the midterms this year, remember?
No.
I'm probably just being too optimistic.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Guess we'll know for sure next year.
When we all look down on you.
Anyway, tomorrow's the day you've all been waiting for. Your next free day. I know you've got enough schoolwork to choke a horse, but try to carve out a little time for your clubs and all that youthful jazz.
Speaking of choking a horse, Sara.
The forecast for tomorrow is clear blue skies. Might be the perfect chance to sneak off and get into some ooh la la with that special someone.
Who in this class is dating anyone other than Reen?
No.
And truly, you teach us all by living your life as a shining counterexample.
Spoken like a true lifetime member of the Lonely Hearts Club, instructor.
Hey! I'll have you know that there are plenty of guys who would do anything for a private lesson with yours truly.
But if that many men are interested in you, how come you spend so much time drinking alone in your room?
Damn! You got ethered by Elliot.
Whoa, critical strike. Damn.
I think the polite thing to do here is just smile and nod.
If you keep setting your sights on guys like Laura's dad, you might as well just buy a couple cats and get it over with.
Fuck!
Wow, we're so mean.
It does seem like she's fighting an uphill battle to find a good match.
Guess she's trash. Is that how we're doing this? I'm not very good at it.
Ah, just you wait, guys. In 2 weeks, when you see the hordes of chiseled, elegant gents draped over me, we'll see who has the last laugh.
So is this just gonna be like a Choaniki situation? Choaniki?
I bet this scene is 10 times more awkward if you chose her as your partner.
Yeah. She'd be like, I'm already taken in the future. And they'll be like, what?
Time really does fly. It's hard to believe our last free day is tomorrow.
Yeah, it felt like we still had more time.
Did it? It kind of felt like the opposite. The only reason I knew it was like this is because nobody shuts up about it.
For me, it feels like it's been ages since I last had one.
Yeah, we get it. You fought in 2 wars now, Mr. Veteran.
Were you able to rest up at all while you were away?
Not really. It was basically work, work, work the whole time. I did get taken into Crossbell City during what time off I did have, but I can't say I felt very comfortable there.
I'm sure.
Indeed. That must have been more painful than anything.
To the people of Crossbell, we Erebonians are aggressors. I can hardly imagine they would welcome us with open arms.
That doesn't sound like it'd stop Lecter from living it up over there, though.
He did take me to a casino once, actually. He won so much, he might as well have been cheating.
Shocking.
What do you mean, might as well?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Just implying that he's not him of all people.
It always feels like people who like gambling really like it, huh?
Sort of like our dead friend. Why did we even leave that there?
So, does anyone have anything planned for our free day? Remember, it's the very last one, so make it count. We wouldn't want to end the day with any regrets.
There should just be like a photo of him hanging off the side. And flowers.
True enough. Although, I wonder if I'd end the day regretting that it has to end in the first place if we made it too much fun.
What?
He's been paying attention in the ethics class too much.
I've got so much that I want to do, I'm not sure where to start. I know I want to attend practice, at least. Oh, same. I've got to go taste test some new dishes for the cooking club, plus Kershus has a new menu up, and...
How many stomachs do you have?
Will you be helping the student council tomorrow, Reen?
That's the plan. It sounds like Toa will finish handing all her work over to the others today, but they're bound to be busy. So I thought it'd be nice to take some of it off their hands, whether they like it or not.
Ah, Reen, ever the reliable gopher.
That's a very you response.
If there's anything we can help with, let us know, okay?
It's just all quest monsters in town.
And one underneath the old schoolhouse.
Well, I guess I'd better get going. I could go straight to the student council room, but it's my first time back in over a month, so it would be nice to take a walk. Maybe I should go and see how Valimar's doing too.
Reen!
Where are we keeping Valimar right now?
Probably the engineering club, if I had to guess.
How would he get in?
He's just where the bike was. They just took the gazebo down.
Huh? Emma? I thought you'd gone off to your club room with Celine. Did you forget something?
No, it's not that. I just wanted to spend a bit more time talking to you. You were away for so long, and I still have so many things I want to talk about with you.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, let's go.
That's fine by me, though. I've still got loads of stuff I want to talk about with you, too.
That being said, it wasn't only talking to you that I missed while you were away. There was, something else.
I think I might know. So, what do you want to talk about?
Oh my god.
Anything is fine with me, as long as I'm with you.
And then they melted into an actual literal puddle for a while.
No, we've gone a bit Ava, but we're not going full Ava. Oh, okay, they made a Valimar house.
Oh yeah, there was that one shack that didn't do anything. So over near the Oh no, that's on the other side. That was near the stable. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I guess that's his regular costume because that's been the default the whole game, but now it's been defaulted to school uniform.
Mm.
Okay. Notebook updated. It's been a while since we looked at this. Famous hero.
Hooray.
Hooray. Osborne, not on supporters list.
Boys are beautiful.
Okay, yeah, we already got that. Boys are beautiful. I don't think there'll be much anybody else. All right, let's go fill this notebook out.
Yeah, let's just do a roundup at the end since I don't know what we've had. Do we want to start from the top of the building and work down?
Yeah, sure. Then just do like a
loop around,
a spiral around the building, essentially.
Let's do the reverse of what we always do, which is everything but the main building.
Yeah, I just tend to leave that for last just because it's so big.
It's dense.
Okay, nobody. Maid. Smoker. How are you doing at calculus?
Huh. So only class 7 is getting the cram school exams. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's implying that everybody else just got the regular lessons. Which, actually, now that I think about it, it's a lot of the students were not in school for about the same amount of time as we were.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised.
Yeah. So. Okay. You know what? It's fine if they don't learn. It's cool.
The poor students aren't paying us.
Most of them don't even have names.
Oh?
Ah.
We did build him a Valimar house.
It's very industrial.
We're gonna put a roof on it, and then Valimar can lay on it and fight the Red Baron.
It's a Valimar dorm. Like, I'm sure this is not how this happened, but it looks like they just took a crate from one of the dungeons and then just sized it up and put windows on it.
It could be pretty close. Construction probably would have gone faster if they gave you some soldats.
Yep, maybe. Possibly. Really? Nothing? No notebook update? Was he done?
I don't think he was. I think he was one of the 2 stars.
Okay.
Maybe something else is coming.
That seems a little likely, I guess. Hey, Sarifa.
Oh yeah, we have phones now.
There we go. Alright, that's gonna be year 2, class 1, 2. Ah, yes, of course. You will be liaising.
I know that's a real word, but God, it feels fake.
It sounds normal, but it looks weird.
Huh.
No, don't do it. She frequents restaurants.
Especially if you're about to ask her for her phone number.
Cataclysmically decline her. Excellent word. It will be kind of funny if we go downstairs and she is, in fact, in a bridal gown.
It would be the perfect escalation.
The only problem is they would have to give these students an extra costume, and I don't... evidence has shown that they're not usually doing that.
Yeah, I don't know that they even got one at the festival.
Well, I think it's just been swimsuits for the swim club only. Are you okay, Colette? Colette.
I don't know if she is.
I'm gonna shop until the tears dry.
Huh.
Okay, hey, Rosine. Oh no, please do.
Thanks, Rosine.
Thanks. I had an integral part in this, like, a horrible miscarriage of justice.
Huh. Well, I guess that's a nice thing for the nun to tell you.
There we go. That's a nun thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Music room.
Men. Ouch. She's good at logistics.
Why didn't anyone vote for me? And what's that ticking noise?
Huh. Oh.
Oh, this is Mint's final final contribution to the world.
Disappointment. Damn.
It really couldn't have gone any other way, though.
I suppose.
Oh, good.
Why aren't you two acting like horny teenagers? Oh my god, I'm your uncle.
Mm-hmm. I think I already did. It faded to black, Bridget.
I was about to say, I thought we finished that.
Alright, year one rich, yes. Now Alan's girlfriend. Done.
Neither has any romantic experience is the best description of that couple in the world.
Now she's Alan's girlfriend, and that's the end of her life. nowhere to go from there.
I mean, Alan is kind of the dead end of romance. Oh my god, he doesn't even have a personality in private?
Hey, Elliot.
Yeah, I suppose those of you who were here for a month had a lot of fun, huh? Huh, Elliot? Huh?
I don't know. I think Elliot's having an episode himself. Wow, everything's great. I'm so happy. Haha. Yay.
Life is perfect. Fuck you, Sara. Fuck you, Sara. Fuck you, Sara.
Yeah, so I watched the first season of ReZero recently, and there was one of Subaru's loops was he was like, okay, I'm gonna go gung-ho into my new butler job, and I will not allow anybody to show them to see me doing anything but a big smile, and he's just like absolutely just killing himself doing work, and he's grinning, and just the inner monologue is just like, I want to die.
Yikes. Yeah.
It was an extremely yikes storyline. And it finally ended with him just throwing up.
You know, that's a good finale to that. Could go much bleaker.
Oh, especially on that show. It's a little edgy.
Mm-hmm.
Military band, you say? To keep demonstrating music's power. They're all like this.
They are explicitly band geeks.
I'll show those bastards at the Music Academy. Oh God, hi.
We all float down here, Reen.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Ah.
Oh, neat.
Okay. I was just gonna say that's kind of a non sequitur, but sure. It's not always. You don't always go into a job that's based on your schooling.
There's like 7 manga about that, Nicholas. You'll do fine unless you're in Toguro, or whatever that one was called.
A lot of them start with getting run over by a truck, though.
Well, I was gonna save him that step. This is already a fantasy land.
That's true. We already got Toa.
Huh. I'm still amazed they haven't announced a second one of those with all the weird things getting sequels lately.
What?
Oh. Shit.
Alright, no idea.
I guess this explains why we didn't get that medal as soon as we were expected to.
Yeah, just Nicholas just blended into the background one day, I suppose. Speaking of which, 330 out of 331. I think we definitely missed something on one of the highways.
I think it's explicitly that thing that we blitzed down to death in the final battle.
Well, no, we got an entry for it, is the thing. It's not a full entry, but like we got one. So that did count. We were at nope. We were at 326 before that fight.
Okay.
So that number isn't just the full ones. We just missed something somewhere, and I'm not looking for it.
Yeah, it's not like we're taking this save into CS3.
Yeah. I don't really care that much.
I mean, if it gave you a cool new toy.
It was fun to do, and you get a lot of neat flavor text for doing it. So it was worthwhile, even if I don't get that achievement.
All thanks to you, Nicholas.
Thanks, Nicholas. Hi, Millium. Millium, you're probably gonna, like, once you reach the actual school age, you're probably just gonna come right back here.
She's definitely the one member of our party I'm very curious what happens as soon as this school year ends.
I feel like I suspect we're going to get a little bit more on the Millium situation, considering we did suddenly get that shot of her floating in a jar.
Yeah.
That has gone wholly unacknowledged so far. Oh, there you are. Okay. What's the second? Ah, yes, okay. I'm gonna chisel so many fucking horses, Reen. You have no idea.
I've decided to just start abandoning sleep and developing a tic right now.
There's no better time to start.
Lind chewing tobacco to fight off anything. Just to get that staying dead-eyed stare.
Just chomping, like chewing down on caffeine pills. Did we get anything for her? No? Okay. It's a really funny image. She's just like, oh god.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh god. How will I do it? Aw. Aw. God damn it.
You knew she was just gonna fart in the middle of it.
Oh.
She just turns around and Vivi's just nude and posing, and she's like, no, no.
She whacks her with the flowers.
A rolled up newspaper.
Aww. Hey, can you make some orbs for my robot?
I think I'm trying to see if that chisel is exactly the same as, or if it's a different size. I think it's exactly the same.
I would say yes.
Like, there's that really sharp one in the middle. Anyway, how's your horsing going? Extenuating circuit.
What?
What? Oops.
Oh my god.
Okay. The not starving artist.
Clara, you look at this like me. Clara, you are a little more edgy about this than me.
I've had those days. Okay, I thought I saw a dot there in the mini-map, but apparently I'm just crazy.
It was Colette. She's been wandering the entire U of the hallway.
That would make sense. Mm. Ah, I've been waiting for you.
Did you know who my dad was too?
I beat up a couple of them. They beat me up. It was great. I killed the internet.
Did you know what the internet was? Most people didn't yet.
Hi. I see that look on your face. I didn't know it was you. He said his son died. Reen.
Dude.
Reen, it is never not the time.
You could at least have one conversation with him. He would probably be very frank with you.
The last time you thought this wasn't the time to have that conversation, you flew away in a robot and were in a coma for a month. Ask the questions, Reen. Hi.
Did you know my dad?
Are you my uncle?
Oh my god.
Oh no. But what a perfect excuse to go dungeon crawling. Oh no,
Oh, okay.
it's someone else. Okay. It's just spoilers. She was like almost naked, kind of.
Also, what do you mean think? Altina called her out by name.
He wasn't. Look, she wasn't really in a good mood. He wasn't retaining information. Yeah. So I threatened your favorite star with a robot. By the way. Instructors. Hardcore fan. He's very concerned.
Don't worry, sir. We let her live.
This image is also very good. Most of these are very good.
Yeah, I kind of wish these got more use. I would actually prefer some of these portraits being used on conversations rather than just the weird puppet head.
Yeah, if you get a few extra expressions in there, they'd work really well.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you don't need to for the students, but like the teachers at least. What?
Feeflower. Feeflower. Oh, that one wasn't even ug-worthy. That was a pretend nobody said anything pun. Hello, Reen.
Tell us about the black books, old man.
Yes. I completely forgot about those.
Yes!
Yay!
Yes!
Here you go! Don't do anything weird, Reen. Decoding report.
Okay. Same.
Oh, Reen.
What? Come on.
Reen. Reen, really? Reen. Alright, well, not today, I guess.
Damn.
We'll get there. It builds anticipation.
You know how long I've been anticipating?
Yes.
Yeah, true. You've been with me the whole time.
I mean, I don't know offhand, but it's easy to look up. I'm drunk. I took a page from Sarah's book. It's pretty awesome, actually, turns out.
Did you know she's actually managed a way to get you contact drunk?
She just breathes in your face.
Great, now I'm imagining Sara doing the drunken master thing like a fighting game character.
If she kisses you, you'll pass out.
Now I'm trying to think if there are any JRPG characters who are drunken masters.
Wait, why would you have to quit your job? You don't have to quit your job if you get married, Instructor Mary. I know you got your whole traditional family situation, but come on, Instructor Mary. Look at this fucking school. You can defy expectations, Instructor Mary.
Plus, Makarov would absolutely not look at you and go, "I need a housewife."
Well, that's assuming that they would get together, which is just, I just don't know. He is nice though.
So, how many people know about the dad thing?
It hasn't come up.
It's got to just be Class 7 and Sara, right? Maybe a couple instructors who puzzled it out?
Maybe. I mean Crow. By the way. If you didn't catch that.
Crow and anyone you took care of in Crossbell. I don't know what you were doing.
Your two wonderful allies, Crow and Vulcan.
God, he probably is kind of on their side now, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, no, Vulcan was explicitly anti-Chancellor, and we are now, I presume, temporarily on Chancellor's side. I'm gonna guess that's not gonna last until the end credits.
Yeah, question mark.
Okay.
If it isn't the coolest lady in the infirmary. I was gonna say at the academy, it's like, no, maybe not. She's top 3, though.
I suppose that we are definitely getting into a bit of a Merryworth conversation here, though.
I baked you these muffins, Reed.
I got the recipe from a lovely young lady.
Have you heard of a quiche? It's a Calvardian dish.
Oh god, Margarita would invent the quiche.
Firmly by accident.
Of course, of course. If it's edible, it was an accident. She's basically a food mad scientist.
It kind of rules. I will say this about this game. There are a lot of characters who I would have thought would have been one-note horrors that I have grown to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of notes. Maybe usually 2 or 3, but they're pretty good notes.
There's a statement from the writers on the show Sleepy Hollow that has stuck with me for years, which is, if we got lazy, we could have just done the guy comes from the past to modern day jokes and, oh, what's a car? Oh, what's a light switch? No, we decided to go for the second lowest hanging fruit as our writing process.
Receptionist Bianca, I think we're going to add you to our group therapy list.
That is definitely one of the most ennui-drenched conversations we've had yet.
I don't know what you mean. Wait. Okay. Her ears were doing the pointy thing again, but no, they're normal ears.
I also wondered if she was an elf for a second, so I'm glad it wasn't just me.
I wonder who the volunteers are that are setting up the flea market. I don't know. It's a pretty big list.
Guess we'll have to go to the auditorium and be surprised.
Okay. All right, so that's that building. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out this exit. We're gonna go old schoolhouse and just all the way around and finish up at engineering building and the Val house.
That does seem like a very good roundabout.
There's okay, there's one over here. This works.
I was gonna say, did you forget there was a door on the other side right next to us?
Well, I was looking at it, I was thinking there was a door over here. Is the thing. So that's how that happened. Hey Margarita, what's up? We tell her he's on the roof and she just crouches and launches into the air.
I was gonna say, if this were any other JRPG series where we had like dialogue choices, we would get a tell her, don't tell her.
All right, the dungeon is prepared. She's ready. No people. Nope. I was wondering if there would just be like maybe just a scene or something where he just thinks about it. He's like, it's feeling a little weird here today.
I think I could sense the higher elements now. What?
Uh-huh. Go on. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, that didn't work at all. Adel.
Yeah.
Okay. She's been workshopping it, so she'll get there.
She's got until spring. So, where are you going between semesters, Fee?
I don't know.
I guess she's kind of a ward of Sara's?
And she could probably just go sleep on the streets for a month, and she'd be fine with that. And Sara would have to drag her over to her... Where does Sara live, actually? Because we've only seen her in her dorm room. Does she have a home?
Yeah, maybe she just uses that place as her operations nest. I don't know why that was what came out of my mouth.
Okay. Let's just go ahead and ignore those two.
I'm gonna hunt down one of those wandering masters and learn the way of the blade.
Going on journey. I should hope so.
Yeah, maybe they can just have a duel for it at the start of next year. Why is that your choice?
All right, one of you's leaving this building today. Excuse me.
Alan, I'm starting to think you need to talk to someone about this, because I don't know if you know what a relationship is.
It's begun. He's decided his place in the world is wife guy.
There was never any doubt about Alan as a wife guy.
For her, his new girlfriend, Bridget.
It's just she's always seemed about 10 times more competent than him.
This is the greatest love story since Illusion of Gaia.
Oof.
I may have already made that joke at some point. Damn it! Control yourself. Okay.
I've got problems. How are you, Patrick?
He's out of practice on the whole tsundere act. Bonks him on the head with the sword.
If Patrick did a head pat on Reen, that would be the best payoff.
That would be great. I don't know if that's possible in one of these scenes.
Yeah, I think they have to actually go into cutscene mode for that, but still.
It might be worth it. All right, so we get
Thanks. Well, it kinda did, buddy.
And it sounds like you're about to start a relationship with Friedel.
Well, that would also give him time to figure himself out, too.
They go on a journey of self-discovery. Okay, they did not add anything.
Yeah, I think we're splitting half of them between Clear Up Today, half of them at the flea market. Laura somehow hurls a sword up at him from the pool.
His camera is not pointed towards Casper over there.
Don't say it. Good.
Okay.
I was worried he was going to emphasize it.
Look, instead of being 700% horny, he's down to 400. He's the character development. Hey, Casper.
Uh-oh.
How about swimming? Cass, how does that sound?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, some of them are going to be coming from, like, kind of deserty areas.
Look, if you have those girls swimming in a cold pool, you have to kick Rex out of the building.
Right, Rex is a first year. Crap, we're still stuck with him.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm going to kill him.
Oh, I think we were supposed to do this in the opposite order.
Okay. Been working on that one for a while.
Look, Gaius has the wind thing. Nobody in our party was water elemental.
That's true. That's true. The three elements: wind, water, and music. All right. Did I talk to her twice?
Nope.
Oops. All right. It's a very small swimming club.
Yeah, was it ever more than 4 people?
I don't think so. Okay.
No one in the back even, huh?
Yeah, when they mentioned that, I was thinking this building, but then I realized it's very far away from the engineering building.
Got it. It's amazing to learn that pores can have horses too.
Horses. He uses a lot of charged imagery, doesn't he?
Yeah. You see, Jusis doesn't have an inferiority complex against you, so that's why he would not be as well.
Look, the best way to climb through the ranks is an inferiority complex. It gives you motivation.
If manga has taught me anything, that's definitely one of the things.
Yep, that's exactly what she just said. Yep, thanks.
Look, Paula barely had more to her than her name and horse, so I'm surprised we got 3 things out of her.
Millium harassed her once. All right. Oh, hi. Hello, Green. Yes, hello. But did you ever talk to him? Okay, he was big on horse racing, so he's probably hanging out around here a lot.
Yeah, Crow and Lambert probably had alternative... Like, they were at cross purposes, but they shared a love for those beautiful beasts on the track.
Ugh.
I didn't mean that to sound filthy.
There's no way to avoid it with this guy. Okay. They let you ride horses. Did you know that, Reen?
What do you mean horses don't live as long as me? Oh, no!
Oh, they... nope, you know what? Nope. Nope!
I hope you just caught of the same terrible joke that I did. And that's all I'm going to say.
Probably. Hey, Hugo. You wee bam. You weebum. Becky. You've already lost. I've decided this is now Hugo's voice. Any merchant worth his salt would have known the battle started the moment the market was announced. Oh, did I overestimate you again? See?
Your knowledge of theory only got you to a tie last year, dude.
I hate them.
Clearly what we need to do is just give all our remaining Mira to Becky just out of spite.
$93,000. She could probably do good with that.
We could probably tilt that battle a bit.
Oh, wait. Okay, who's... Students? Yeah.
Well, it's...
But yeah.
Yeah, Pilot is a student.
Hi, I'm Reen. What's your name? Then male student just starts crying and runs away.
What?
That happened once.
Oh my god, are we going to have to start keeping people out of the old schoolhouse for their safety?
What? Keeping them out for safety? Huh? What? There's a lock on the door. It's perfect. It's completely foolproof. Nobody's ever gotten in when the door's locked.
The very first story in the school paper next year, a rise in window smashings at the old schoolhouse is really pissing off Janitor Geiler.
Oh, hey. Cool.
Do you not know who I am?
Do I know you? That's quite familiar, the way he was speaking. I don't know. Ah. Huh. I think I did miss one. Don't remember. So, oh yeah, this would be from, this is from this game, probably. Also, I guess you can have 6 options on this screen? They just didn't. Huh. Bizarre. Come on, there we go. Yeah, this girl's a big fan of the newspaper.
We finally found her. The biggest nerd on campus.
Oh, she's been here the whole time. Just staring at those books, just thinking about books all day.
Yeah, tell me about it. Thanks. I've run 3 errands for you.
Really? It's like actual royalty come to the school, Librarian Carol.
It is a little surprising she hasn't run into them. I mean, we did have like famous opera singers and nobles attending the play last year, and I'm sure that's regular.
Well, it was Misty that attended the play, not Vita Clotilde.
Okay. A couple of princes showed up, too.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember seeing Cedric there. I know Alphen was there. She's always there. Hey, James. What?
Wow! Wow! How could you fuck that up so hard?
He is kind of in a time void.
He hasn't been here for half a year.
Thanks, James. It does kind of feel like that's going to happen, James. You have a good point.
It wouldn't be that surprising, would it?
Hey, Monk. How you doing, Monk? The radio. Not the people on the radio. The radio itself. My friend. I call him Rady.
M-U-N-K, that spells radio.
Let's not do that one.
I think I made that joke one time before, so yeah. Also, it's still more tasteful than the actual movie Radio.
Yeah, I've probably made that joke as well. The Stand was a weird book.
It is.
I didn't like that book. Like, there's the opening, which I thought was really strong, and then there's like 700 more pages after that.
If nothing else, you'll probably teach, like, Soldat engineering.
Yeah, I could see that easily fitting into our engineering courses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just wise, grizzled veterans.
Don't worry, we're about to carry on Crow's legacy and become a 3-year student.
What are you planning to do in the salon? That sounded really ominous. All right.
Yeah.
Girl party. You see, again, inferiority complex. It's what all the best leaders have them.
That seems to be how every single club runs itself, yeah.
No, that's... I was not looking at the picture.
Has a brother called Vincent.
She does.
You probably just put out a booth like you usually do to invite people to clubs at the start of the year?
Teresia doesn't care.
Oh, no.
What does she look so sad for?
She thought about her dad.
Fair.
How many female characters in this game can I not say she thought about her dad and had a sad about?
Sheeta's dad is pretty good.
Does Emma have a dad?
No, nobody knows what Emma has.
Like, if you told me witches grew like mushrooms in this world, I'd believe it, because we've only ever heard mention of aunts and grandmas.
I'm going with carved from stone until proven otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're gonna recruit Clara.
Oh, okay.
It's just a gigantic block of granite, and Clara's just like, I can hear a teenager trying to get out. I must chisel.
Welcome to Spooky Month, everyone.
Hi, it's October. It's not gonna be when this is posted, but it's October.
Yeah.
We're never gonna stop having fun, Irene.
Yeah, all the Class 7 students seem to have either I've got a duty to uphold or fun if it kills you.
And I guess I probably need to eat when we're done here.
Same.
What you got? Queen omelet, gorgeous salad. That's right, she upgraded when it was only nobles here.
They did say there were new things over here, so...
Alrighty. Yeah. I still don't like this building. It's just really tightly packed corners.
Yeah, if they widened one or two of these things, but yeah, this has a lot of camera catching states. Shop, huh?
Yeah, that's gonna be Kenneth.
Oh, I guess he would still sell some stuff. Yeah.
We can still fish.
Don't worry, we have orbital charging stations for that. Do you think there's long-term, like, health problems if you're just constantly charging up and grinding when you're in your college years in Erebonia?
Probably. Come on, let's get in here. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Leaning back, relaxing with my filthy smut.
See, the bit that gets me is she says she does writing too. Is Emma also going full smut lord, or is she just trying to, like, be chaste near Dorothy?
She's trying to be chaste, but it's worse.
Want to read that book?
Well, we better have so much fun, Reen. Yeah, evading. Uh-huh. Sure. Right. Yep. Believe it.
Oh, word?
Everybody mails me back saying, these are great, but violate indecency laws.
One just sent me an envelope full of ashes.
Yeah, they sure do say that. All the time.
All right, so here's the question. Does Emma by default take over the literature club next year? Or does this lineage die with Dorothy?
They lock the door with her and with Dorothy inside.
The bookshelf of Amontillado.
For the love of boys.
Oh.
What?
Ah, that means they're going to change the minigame before the next game, I guess.
They should. It maybe gets a little stale.
By endgame.
Gasp. Stefan just dissolves.
Thanks, Ahoge Millhouse.
Turns out he was just a ghost the whole time.
So I did have to look that up to make sure I said the right one. I think Crow played chess better than everyone at this school, though.
I don't recall we ever saw Crow playing chess. We saw Jusis once. Crow was big on Blade, of course.
True. Where's Beryl?
It's, lurking.
Oh, hey, sick.
We're almost finished with this one block. It's just Adel. She's the only holdout.
That means she's going to have a really cool display tomorrow.
Special recognition.
Extended a me job offer.
What? Oh no.
Ah.
No, this is perfect. Beautiful. Yes, A+. Toad's just like, fuck the entrance ceremony! Turns out she's just a tyrant. We just don't see it. You walk in the door and she's all cute and stuff.
That would explain why she's a fan favorite.
Fine. Alright.
Okay, Reen.
Anyone up by the salon? Oh. I still want to see the salon.
I was hoping that one student talking about you should make sure you have no regrets was going to be our way of saying, hey, you get to see it once.
Like,
oh no. Terrible idea before we walk in here. Is Angelica having Beryl try to summon the spirit of Crow?
I think Beryl's just gone. I think she's ascended.
It was a good mental image, though.
Oh.
Hey there, Rain.
Looks like someone's done with class for the day.
Yep, just got out. Wait, is that?
Actually, you know what? I wonder if Beryl is gonna come into play with whatever's going on with the Black Records.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Angie's brand new bike.
It's evil.
We started building it for you, but then we had a change of heart. I just couldn't tear you away from your current ride after you'd grown so attached.
Seriously, what is that stain, Reen?
Jusis did that.
Now I feel bad, considering I pretty much did just that to you.
What the hell were you eating, Reen?
Look, the only drive-thru in Heimdall had chili fries.
Your new one's got a pretty cool design, though.
Don't get too jealous. The specs are pretty much the same as yours. Well, before Angie tunes it up and adds her custom gear for distance riding, that is.
But distance riding would mean... You're planning on going off on some big journey, aren't you?
10 points to Rain. I just felt like it was time for me to go out and see the world for myself. My martial arts teacher did the same thing once, so I'm sure it'll be a valuable experience for me.
I'll come back stronger and hornier than ever.
Yep, that tracks with martial arts teachers.
The plan for now is to travel through the entirety of Zemuria.
That's not a very specific plan, and a pretty sizable journey.
Yeah, no, for 18-year-old going on a road trip, that sounds exactly right.
Yep.
You can say that again. I have no idea where she finds the energy.
Look, I walked around 1/4 of this continent on foot in Sky the Second.
Your plan to visit the continent's most famous engineering factories is pretty much exactly the same thing.
You really think so?
I take it you'll be leaving Erebonia for a while too, George?
Seems that way. First stop's the Burl and ZCF. Always wanted to see it. After that, I got my heart set on a trip to the Epstein Foundation over in Lamont State. While I'm at it, I think it'd be nice to pay a visit to the Verne Company in Calvert, too.
That's all of them. Bye.
Will you even be able to get into Calvert at this point?
Hey, I didn't say it'd be easy, but I think I can pull some strings. The real reason for this trip is to figure out what I can do as an engineer to help smooth over our international relations. Meeting the continent's finest engineers and discussing things with them should really help get the ball rolling on that.
You've thought that far ahead.
Wait, George.
That's really admirable. I hope you can find a way to make that happen.
George, was that all innuendo just now?
Even though I feel kind of hypocritical saying that, as someone who participated in the war.
Don't beat yourself up over it, Reen.
You have nothing to be ashamed of. That was your only option, given the way the Chancellor set things up. Your actions actually helped us avoid an even longer, more brutal war.
But...
Angie's right. You played a role that no one else could have. Just think. If things kept going the way they were going, we could have been at war with all of Crossbell.
Let me name them all one at a time.
I don't even want to imagine the number of lives that would have been lost if you hadn't stepped in the way you did.
Of course, us telling you whether or not you should feel guilty doesn't matter. It all comes down to you facing your own feelings over what you did. But there's one thing we'd like you to remember as you do. You're not alone, Rain. You've got friends who understand why you did what you did.
Sometimes I wonder how I was lucky enough to get such good ones. Thanks, you guys. This really helps.
Don't mention it. On a completely different note, why don't you pay Valimar a visit while you're here?
Oh, that door that's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spared no expense making sure he'd be nice and cozy in there.
I just never thought about that door because you couldn't do anything with it.
I think I will. But not to discredit your coziness efforts or anything, but he seems fine no matter where I leave him.
Well, aren't you a sweet chevalier? Maybe I'll check in on him in a bit too.
No.
Speaking of people we should never allow in the robot.
God, yeah, she like every sentence would just be like, oh, so this is what it's like inside you.
So many sticks for me to take hold of.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you could pronounce something with a triple entendre.
She's on orders. There we go. Continental tour. Engineering tour.
Is Crow under class 7 members?
I don't... Yes, he is. And he's done.
Okay.
Tragic death.
Gotcha. Alright, I didn't know if we actually got a 3rd star for him. It was going to be so sad if we didn't, but it kind of is since we did.
Time's full. Okay, yeah, we saw that. Good luck. Ah.
It seems like the easiest way to do it would just be go from Liberal to Calvert, though. I don't know why I'm trying to plan out how George can hop borders.
He'll find a way. He knows a guy. He's got a handle on international relations, if you catch my drift. Nope, just two. Okay, why is this here? What is the point of this?
That is so weird. We're even on a New Game Plus run. There was no bonus there? Come on.
Hey, Valimar. How you holding up?
Relatively comfortably. My ability to self-repair means that maintenance is not mandatory, but I expect it will increase my operating efficiency.
Glad to hear it. This is going to be our new home base for the time being, so you can get in as much maintenance as you need. I'm gonna need you a lot in the days ahead, Valimar.
I will strive to meet your expectations.
Excuse me.
Something wrong?
Not as such. I thought I sensed something unusual, but it must have been my imagination.
You really are getting to be scarily human these days, you know? What was it you sensed, though? A person?
I am unsure. It may have simply been a fluctuation in the earth things below us.
I wonder if this is the same thing that Machias sensed.
Similar fluctuations are hardly abnormal.
Well, if you don't think it's anything worth worrying about, I'll try and put it out of my mind. If you sense anything strange in the future, though, let me know, okay? You can tell me... telepathically was the word, right?
Indeed. I shall use it to inform you should I sense anything is amiss.
And if you go to associate with Emma, remember, I know everything you're seeing and thinking.
I think we've both made the Wheel of Time joke, right?
I don't think so, actually. I don't think we brought that up. The border bond.
Yeah. That's definitely one of the weirdest scenes that I've read in any fantasy novel.
There's a lot of weird scenes involving that, but I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yep.
I may have seen some manga with the same conceit as that scene. Let's go with that.
Yep. Anyone watching the Amazon series, you got a few years before that comes up. Can't wait to see if they try and film that. Yet.
Yeah. Valimar is also in the teeth grinding, we're having fun camp. Okay, so there's it's hard to get a good look at this place. There we go, this works.
This doesn't look like it's gonna fit many soldats.
Yeah? Well, I mean, Valimar can just go rest outside if need be. So we got 3.
I suppose if it's just used for training and maintenance, you probably don't need them. But still.
Okay. I thought there was a shiny back there, but it was just the baseboard.
No, I think we got all the car skins and snowboard skins.
Yeah. Okay, so the only thing that is left is going to the student council room. You want to hit that, see where it goes, and then save it first opportunity?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. First opportunity will be, it'll be like 5:30 a.m. by then.
Look, we get stupid when it comes to the end of these things, so hey.
Yeah.
Alright, now are you done being yelly, Toa? Oh, I guess so.
They're all dead. Hold on, Reen, I'm still absorbing.
What? Oh, she's asleep. Okay.
Oh. That's much less ominous.
It took me a second, but yeah.
Oh, she's so cute when she's sleeping, and at all other times.
Yep, I knew it. No wonder she fell asleep. She must have been really busy getting everything sorted out for the spring.
It is really funny how just every single time they just talk about how busy she is, and we never see it. Not once.
I think the closest we came was the festival in the last game, where it's like she was still queen being the whole thing.
Makes me remember finding her like this over in the computer room. Oh, right. I probably shouldn't look too much or she'll get mad when she wakes up.
Angie. George. Crow.
Everybody landing critical hits on you today, man.
Rain? What are you doing in my room? Wait. This is the student council room.
What day is it?
Huh.
I must have fallen asleep.
Sorry for coming in without permission. I did knock, though.
Don't worry about it. It's my fault for dozing off like this. Why do you always have to keep finding me like that?
Marketing.
I hope you weren't looking at me while I was sleeping again.
I did
That's
try
the
to look as little as possible.
weirdest sentence.
Those are both really weird sentences.
Well, if you say so.
The kids aren't all right.
Is something the matter? You're not looking too well.
No, I'm fine. Maybe the light streaming in through the window is making me look off color? I feel fine, really.
It's super good, A+. Yep, that's me. I'm Reen, just doing the best all times. Wow, I can't believe she saw through that.
Come with me.
What's this all about?
Okay, so that was a new animation, I think. So I expected her to like drag him to a different building or something, not 2 feet away.
I know that you're a boy and all, and I do think that you've grown a
Oh,
lot
it's
during your years.
vengeance.
No, I probably shouldn't even call you a boy anymore. You're a grown man now. But
You pat that head, Toa. You pat the hell out of it.
that doesn't mean you always have to stand and endure everything life throws your way. Okay? If it gets too much, it's alright to sit down and let it all out. Whether you're a boy or a grown man doesn't change that. It's okay, Reen.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I promised I'd bring him back. I promised I'd make him graduate with you. But I couldn't do it.
It's okay. You did everything you could. You made sure he knew how we all felt. And you let all of us know how he really felt too. So, don't get so worked up about it.
I'm sorry. I didn't want anyone to see me like that.
Oh, we couldn't tell.
Well, I guess we're even then. Not like I jump for joy every time you catch me sleeping.
Have you finished getting everything ready for the next student council now, by the way?
Yep, my days of being president are almost done. The first years taking over are really smart, though. I barely had to teach a thing in the end.
They found almost all of my bombs.
Still, it must have been hard work getting through it all. You're going on a tour of various NGOs after graduation, right?
Yep. The plan's to take a year to visit NGOs in lots of different fields. Politics, economics, engineering, medicine. After that, I'm not sure what I
She's
want to do.
1000% getting
Well,
into
I'm pretty
politics.
sure they'd both love to have you. There's no chance either one would say no to you.
Sorry, what were you saying? I accidentally pushed forward.
Oh, I said she's 1000% getting into politics.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I had to stretch for a minute and just everything went wrong when I sat
Especially
down.
since taking a year off hasn't made them any less determined to recruit you. After all you did with commanding the courageous, it's no wonder you're so in demand.
You sat there with a hat on. It was great.
Maybe she did some battlefield command from the thing. We don't know.
Sometimes he yelled, "Move on out."
I don't know. I don't think I did anything special, really.
I guess we don't think you did either.
It would be best in the long run for me to see the world from a variety of different perspectives. I don't know what path I'll choose, but I want to step onto it with a firm decision on how things should be. I think that's the best thing I can do for this country's future. Maybe I'm being a little overdramatic there, though.
Not at all. After how much you've done for this academy, I can only imagine how much you could do for this country. Just try not to overwork yourself, okay? We're with you all the way, but we will always worry, you know?
Thanks. Oh, I almost forgot. What was it that made you come here? I mean, I'm happy you did, but...
Well, you see, there was a red dot on the map.
Oh, I'd completely forgotten too. I just came to ask if there was anything I could do to help tomorrow, seeing as it's another free day.
But... you've only just come back. And besides, tomorrow's your...
That's all the more reason I want to spend tomorrow's free day the same way I spent all of the others.
Birthday?
Huh.
It wouldn't feel like our final free day is Class 7 if it were any different.
Well...
There probably is a birthday for Reem. Let's see.
I kind of wish she had just finished that sentence instead of leaving it for the future.
Okay. I do have a few things in mind, so I'll just drop them into your mailbox in the dorm like I always do.
I'm really glad that I already knew that before looking up his birthday.
Was it a future bomb?
No. It straight up just said he was born on May S as the son of Gilead Osborne. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Well.
And thanks
Yeah.
for offering.
And that's literally in the Google result. So that was shitty. Great.
Yeah, it happens way too much. I've started like looking away from the autocomplete when I'm typing something like that.
Well, my phone doesn't autocomplete, so I thought, yeah, I could type birthday and be safe. It's like, why did you give me that whole sentence instead of just a date?
Rain.
Elliot?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone. Got it. Show us the record, Schwarzer.
The engine does not like what they're trying to do with this.
No, this looks like about 5 different hacks going at once. Also, Emma clearly uses enough hairspray to just murder a tree on that braid for it not to move at all.
Oh yeah, no, that braid, you can absolutely stab someone. Now it's moving. Nobody else, not a single person.
Well, Reen did meet Crow day 1.
That's true. Done. We're here.
Oops, you took too long to read. Hey, you think Laura's gonna apologize to Fee? I'm gonna bet not.
Oh no, they've already worked it out with their swords. As soon as that duel was done, like they were besties for life.
Hey, you know who else was hell on some of us at the time? Oh, good.
Yep, there it is.
We're gonna be seeing that.
Oh, right. Nobody told Millium. If Millium finds out, she'll orchestrate it for herself.
Yes. We're going to be seeing that sepia-toned screenshot up until CS4, aren't we?
Probably. I don't know. It's hard to say because just they upgrade the graphics so much between 2 and 3. So I wonder if they'll just flash back to all these boxy people. Like there were some flashbacks from like Sky that ended up just being like full screen drawings.
I don't know if that's better or worse if they decide to redraw the titty smothering.
And we're moving on.
Ha! Actually, Nightheart does the same thing.
Boop. Oh no. That fall was also an early example of the engine just struggling to do this game.
It's true. That was a non-standard movement we couldn't use anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Laura cut its head off.
Well, yeah, probably trying to make sure you didn't die.
She never stopped winking.
Oh no.
She whips out Machias' shotgun. just runs off and everybody's chasing her like, no, Millium! And then it does the circle wipe closing in. The credits roll.
That would be a great end. Oh. Ah, this is where Sharon's gonna come back in, huh?
Yeah.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, she gets lovely voice. Okay.
Huh?
It's a pretty good voice.
Sharon?
What reason could you possibly have for being here?
I love it when you get tsundere at me, Mistress Alisa. My lady.
War's over, back to work.
The chairman gave me her permission to return to my former position as your dormitory's caretaker. Which means I am here to serve you all once more. There may only be a short time left until the end of the year, but I'll make sure you want for nothing during it.
Nothing.
I've already started preparing your evening meal, so there's no need to go out and buy anything.
I'm definitely not here because some shit's gonna go down.
Oh, well, how about that?
I'm fine with this.
We will gladly accept your offer.
Sharon's cooking's better than whatever grub we could rustle up together anyway.
Probably true.
How do you manage to get permission from Mother in the first place, though? Weren't you helping to rebuild the Rhineford group? I thought the company was getting so many orders in, it was struggling to keep up.
Now that Master Gwyn has returned to the company, everything is back in order.
Oh.
Oh dear.
He and the chairman have been speeding through one task after another since he got back.
Elliot's face is the one I'm making right now.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So the former and current chairman make quite a team, I see.
I want to see that scene.
Boy, I'm starving.
Wouldn't mind a drink either. With the weather getting warmer, it's just about time for peak beer season.
Just walking through town talking to herself about beer. Our fine instructor.
That's one of the least surprising developments.
Huh? What are you guys all gathered out here for?
Oh, why are you here?
It's a pleasure to see you too, Lady Sara. I brought a bountiful supply of smoked oysters and sardines if you'd like a snack to accompany your beer. Would you like them alongside your dinner?
Yes!
Damn it. Yes.
I'm surprised she can just walk around in public like this. You know, considering her affiliation.
I'm guessing there's some sort of agreement in place between Rhineford and the government to leave her alone. Though, even if there weren't, I can't imagine anything would be able to stop Sharon from doing what she wants.
She hasn't committed any crimes that we've seen, so...
And she worked with the RMP at one point. By working with, I mean just kind of having an argument and kill off between herself and Claire. Claire, excuse me.
Yeah.
Whew. I think I might have eaten too much. It's been so long since we last had Sharon's cooking. She hasn't lost her touch. None of it feels heavy on my stomach at all. Well, that's all my work done for the day. Maybe I should go see how everyone else is doing.
No, open the books.
It's been a while since we had one of these. No, it's probably supporters. Sharon. Sharon, not arrested. Okay. Everyone's in their rooms. Let's go check it out.
Hey, Elliot. Taking care of your violin?
Oh, wow, they're all voiced, too.
Yeah, it's taken care of me over the past year, so why not return the favor?
Bye, Elliot.
I'm actually planning on giving a few of them to the Academy before I go. Just to make sure next year's first years have something to practice with.
That's really generous, and sure to make a lot of people happy. And you'll finally be heading off to a music academy just like you always wanted. I bet they'll push you pretty hard over there, too.
I don't doubt it. I'm going to need to be all music all the time if I want to stand a chance at keeping up.
What a change.
Though, to be honest, after all the time I've spent here, I don't really want my life to be completely about music. I love it, obviously, but to be a balanced person, I want to have a bit more variety in my life, like I had here at the Academy.
So, stay?
Can you imagine if he hyper-focused on music if this is his balanced self?
Like, why can't you stay, Elliot?
For one thing, I don't want to get too rusty with my orbital staff.
Good to hear. I hope everything works out for you.
Thanks. Me too.
Like, are we getting honorable discharges from the school? What is going on?
No, it's nothing. Either way, Heimdall and Trista are really close, so don't be a stranger, okay? I know you're gonna have tons of work to get through between your classes and your missions, but...
Don't worry, I'll make time. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to see each other. There's still a ton of Heimdall I haven't seen, too. You'll have to show me around next time I make it over there.
You bet.
Oh, can you imagine Laura going to the Girls' Academy? She would rule the place within a day.
They could disarm her and she would still just be hurling bullies left and right. Someone tries to mean girl her.
And they would all swoon. Class 7 members. Elliot. Music, music, music.
God.
Okay. But bye.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Machias. Working hard or hard?
No.
I'll stop you right there.
Hello, I am still Machias. Do not worry about that weird transition. That's some big, big text, Machias.
Well, he doesn't know his glasses have fallen down his face.
Of course I'm hard at work. Just look at the size of this book.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If I can't internalize as much of it as possible while I'm here, I'm doomed to failure from the start.
And this is one of your new textbooks? Man, Heimdall's political academies don't mess around, do they? You'll be the youngest person there, right?
Most likely. I'd normally need to have graduated from Thors with a bit more experience under my belt to have gotten in.
Yeah, I guess we're just graduating with honors, except Reen decided not to. They didn't say that though, right?
They said he's gonna be here another year as a first year. But no, they haven't said anything about our other students.
There are a few Thors grads there already, though. They take some every year. And as you might imagine, the recent political upheaval has the place swarming with applicants this year. The entrance exam was hard enough on its own, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Can't say I envy you. Still, I know you're going to be just fine. You're so smart that you can handle any subject they throw at you. Growing up with your dad should give you a leg up on the politics, too.
Yeah, no pressure there. Honestly, there are times when I think diving into things head first like this is a giant mistake.
What?
But what other way could he dive into things?
What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just... I know we're probably going to both be really busy with our own lives come spring. But let's make time to have lunch together once in a while or something. Okay? Studying is all well and good, but even I need a change of pace every now and again.
I think that can be arranged. The train from here to Heimdall only takes a half hour. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't hang out sometimes.
Then it's a date.
Okay. It's a date. Politics.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's too young to think about politics. Sorry, that line from Alphen has stuck with me. Let's not burn out, okay? He says, resuming his attempt to eat books.
I'm gonna eat books and crap knowledge, Schwarzer.
Yeah.
All right, here's how we tell if everyone's graduating.
Something on your mind, Jusis?
For the first time in a long time, no. I'm just taking a short break. Looking over an endless sea of documents can be rather tiring on the eyes.
Oh, are those the tax reports you mentioned?
Ordinarily, this would be my father's work, but His Majesty has yet to decide his fate. Rufus hasn't so much as glanced in Berea Hard's direction since he took his new job in Crossbell either. As such, the task falls to me.
Man, I knew everyone in our class had it pretty rough right now. You've got it roughest, no contest.
If my ego had its way, I would boast that filling in for my father is a simple and mundane task. But on top of the paperwork, I'll need to manage the provincial army and oversee the province as a whole. Then there's the matter of keeping the most stubborn of the nobility in check. I don't expect the first 6 months to be pleasant.
The fact that you're already thinking 6 months ahead is pretty impressive as it is. Standing in for Duke Alperea like that must take some real confidence. I know you'll manage, though.
That much is obvious.
What is it?
Can we still be friends? Can we be friends, Wing?
It's nothing. In the days to come, more people will be relying on you than ever before. But no matter who does so or what they ask, do not lose your pride as a noble. Act independently, your head held high. Maintain your pride and your autonomy, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I promise I will.
I'll hold you to that.
I'm actually going to have the power to do so.
Oh yeah, remember that scene with Reen's parents where they were like, "We're gonna tell you the dark secret of your past," and then we haven't seen them again.
Yeah,
like we've learned a dark secret, which is that Osborne dropped us off for some reason. But like, what would those two know about it?
Maybe the scar.
Sure. As a noble.
Like, I haven't forgotten, right? We don't know why he has that scar on his chest?
Yeah, no, that never came up.
Okay.
I can only... Well, it's technically not a scar, it's just a birthmark, and it's supposed to be fainter than we actually see.
Okay.
We did have that one, oh, hold on. He's trepidatious. Trepidatious son. In the intermission, there was that one scene when Reen's power awakened where he was in like a black room and like a big piece of quartz sort of floated out of his chest.
Right.
I assume that's related.
A man got sepith veins in his veins.
Yep.
Are you finishing up your painting, Gaius?
Yeah, this is my last one. I want to make sure I'm completely satisfied with it before declaring it finished.
That's understandable. You're going to keep painting once you're back at home, though, right?
Well, I don't know how much time I'll have to set aside for it, but I intend to keep working on it, bit by bit. there's growing reason for concern in Calvert to the east of the Highlands. But all in all, things are more peaceful now than they were. I should be able to focus on painting my magnum opus.
Oh, is it going to be of Nord? If anyone can make a masterpiece of the Highlands, it'd be you.
Don't pick my topic for me, Schwarzer.
No, I just want to paint a horse, man.
It's just Whitcomb.
That wouldn't be such a bad idea. But actually, I was intending to paint a picture of the Academy, its students, and the courageous.
You mean...
Now you're getting it. I want to capture the day we liberated the Academy.
And then in the bottom right corner, I will write Finn.
And once I've finished it, I fully intend to return to Erebonia with it in hand. What better way to forever memorialize this place as my second homeland?
Man, you really are amazing. Well, if you ever need reference materials, you know who to call.
Machias.
Rex, because he had a camera.
Oh, yeah.
I can get pictures of anything you might need and send them over. I know you're talented, but that's a lot to paint off of just your memory.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I guess they are just graduating everybody but Rain. Damn.
I know they make these games in unbelievably tight time limits, but I just wish there was a painting.
Maybe just one or two transitional phases through the game.
Yeah, like it could be the same one, that would be fine. It's just nothing every time.
And his brush is white, too. That's the even more insane part.
Yeah, and look how messy those,
palettes are?
Palettes, yeah. By the way, he's just not using the one that's been sitting here for 3 months.
Even Sharon couldn't separate those brushes. It's kind of unwholesome.
Well, she could, but I don't want to talk about it.
One moment, Master Warzel. Severing chains.
I can separate them. First, I must kill these 3 people. Were those bags there before? Just all mixed nuts.
I think that's supposed to be candy.
Yeah. She's on her granola kick. Oh yeah. That was all. I'm trying to remember. There was the scene where we walked around with the flowers. Was that part of the bonus video? Or did that just happen?
I don't remember.
Where's Evil Mishy? There's no Evil Mishy. There's a pumpkin. And there's, like, this. What's this? I don't know what that is.
Well, that's the one that pairs with the pumpkin for Halloween.
Sure.
Gotta have one on each side of the hat.
One of them's a trick and one of them's a treat. Hey, Millium.
What's up, Millium?
Oh, hey, Reen. It's nothing. I just feel kinda down.
Down?
Yeah. I was just thinking about how everyone was at dinner time. Sharon's food was really nice, and we all seemed like we were having a good time.
Oh no. Oh no, she found it. She found the existential crisis. I knew you could do it, Millium.
We had a perfectly good homunculus and we taught her depression.
We were having a great time, and I just couldn't think about anything other than how it was gonna end and we were all gonna die someday.
But I don't know. It was weird, like we were all upset but didn't want to let it show. It's been bugging me.
Oh, so that's why. You really have grown so much these past few months. And not just mentally. I think you've gotten a little taller, too.
Maybe. About 2 rage or so? Judging by my specs, I'm not gonna get much taller than this, though. I'm mini Millium
What?
forever and ever.
All right, Reen, are you just gonna brush this aside too?
But you never know.
Yep.
Maybe I'll grow up to have boobies so big, I can use them as a shelf like Emma's.
What?
Bye.
Something wrong?
Just moonwalk right out of the room, my dude.
Nah, not really. So, you've got a new mission starting next month, right?
Reen, this is exactly what I was just complaining about.
Yep, I've got to go see how things are over out west. Duke Cayenne's been arrested, but it sounds like things are still pretty nuts over there. Oh, but guess what? I might get to go out to Laboral and Remiferia soon.
What is it with you and blabbing classified information? Well, whatever. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself. Be sure to keep in touch. I'll always be right there when you need me, okay?
Righto, I promise. That goes double for you, mister. If you need me to bust you out of a jam, just say the word.
So about those specs. Like, does Reen know more about this whole situation now that he's had some Altina time? I just don't know.
That's a good question. Yeah, did he get like a briefing, a dossier?
We certainly didn't. I saw all this over here, and I thought she might just be like on the floor.
Something on your mind, instructor?
You could say that. I've been mulling over how things are going to be come next month, but all this soul searching's giving me a headache.
Well, it'll probably feel strange being back with the guild for the first time in 2 years. But I'd bet they'll be glad to have you back. Things are probably going to be rough over there, even with you taking up the bracer life again.
No doubts there. I can already see plenty of traveling abroad in my future after what happened over in Crossbow. And I imagine it'll keep getting harder and harder for us bracers to operate here, too.
That's true. It was Osborne that kind of pushed them out, right?
Yep.
Like he created a bad situation, and she's very angry about it.
Yep, I think there was a little bit of that in Sky the Third, in one of the extra doors.
Yeah, so in one of the earlier videos, Fee was just casually offhand mentioned the operation, and we were like, "What? The what? What?" And somebody in the Something Awful thread did mention that it was brought up in Sky. So,
yep, that was the whole thing that Cassius was helping out with.
What's with that sad puppy look? There's no reason for you to feel ashamed of what you've chosen to do. I'm proud to have a student like you who can stand up and make the tough choices life thrusts on us.
Thanks, instructor. I'll try to just grin and bear it for now.
Attaboy. Sticking it out through the hard times with a smile will put you on the fast track to becoming a great man.
I read that in a book.
Just make sure you don't try to shoulder too much. All that'll do is turn you into a jaded grump. Everything in moderation, okay?
I don't want to hear that word coming out of your mouth.
You should see an unmoderated Sara. It's terrifying.
I haven't joined the intelligence division, and I have no plans to. I'm gonna keep responding to their requests, but only if I'm comfortable doing what they're asking. And I can promise you, I'll never do anything that would put me in conflict with the guild or put innocents' lives at risk. I don't know what the future will bring for me, but that's the creed I want to stand by.
I know. Don't worry. No matter what happens, you'll always be my student. So go out there, live your life, and grow into such a heartthrob that I won't be able to take my eyes off you.
But still think of you as my student at the same time.
Well, I'll try.
I'm not gonna open that eye until you become hot, Schwarzer.
Great, now I'm just imagining her Popeyeing around a battlefield. Thanks.
Just an entire can of spinach. Just at the ready.
She replaces her gun with the can of spinach, the dual wield. Oh, a couple of years, huh? I wonder if we'll get to see what happens then.
2 or so. We may have to release a couple action games before then.
Schwarzer.
Okay, let's see if we can remember which one is Emma's.
5, I believe.
Nope.
Damn it.
Hi, Fee. What you doing? Just got some drugs? Got some drugs, Fee? Gonna plant some drugs?
Are those seeds you got there?
What are you, a cop?
Yep,
Oh.
Adel gave them to me.
Yes, kind of.
They all came from the plants we grew in the gardening club. I'm just looking at what kinds there are here.
Really? That's really nice of her. It's kind of like you can take everything you've achieved over the past year with you.
I only just noticed the explosives on her shelf.
Yeah, they've been there the whole, all since the first game.
Okay.
I don't remember if we were allowed in here before we found out her Jaegerness. Her Yake story. I don't know.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to join a club until Adel found me relaxing and invited me. But I guess it wasn't so bad.
You could say she planted a seed, huh? Huh?
Don't you? Damn it.
Don't you worry. I'll be sure to check on the gardening club every once in a while just to see how things are going. It would be a shame if all the plants you've spent so long looking after were to wither and die.
It doesn't matter. Even if they do, they'll eventually bloom again somewhere else. Kind of like us.
When you put it that way, I suppose you're right. What's wrong?
Nothing. This one and this one should be okay too.
Thanks.
What are these for?
They're the easiest ones to look after. You can try raising them if you want. Don't worry if they wilt or anything, though. When I've found the others from Zephyr, I'll come back and check if they're still blooming. If they are, you get a pat on the head.
Hey, I thought the head rubbing was my job.
It's not.
I'll give it my best shot.
How is Fee one of the most mature members of our entire cast?
She kind of yes and kind of no. Because there was a whole stretch in the first game where she's like, "What is friends?"
Well, she was emotionally stunted, but she seems to have really grown.
She's still pretty taciturn.
She smiles more than anyone who isn't Millium, though.
Yeah, but it's like a sad smile that's seen some shit.
She's gray-haired on this continent. It's amazing that she's only just a child soldier.
All right. There she is.
I was off by 1.
Emma? What are you doing?
Oh, hi there,
Nothing.
Well, Dorothy and I decided that we're gonna put together one final collection of stories as a club. Since then, I've been working on a story for the students who will join the club next year.
Oh, that sounds neat. Wait, if Dorothy's involved...
The content is totally appropriate for children of all ages, I assure you.
After some edits.
Admittedly, Dorothy's own story sounds like it'll have a few of her favorite
literary elements, but all in moderation, she assured.
Not that I'm one to judge. So what kind of story is it?
It's supposed to be a fairy tale. I can't pretend it's 100% original, though. I borrowed some elements from a story I heard as a child.
Uh-huh.
It's going to star a golden unicorn and a pure-hearted maiden. Or at least, that's the plan.
Sounds interesting. Can I give it a read when you're done? I'll still be here next year, so if I see any first years who seem like they'd enjoy it, I'll recommend it to them.
I have to confess, I'm a little embarrassed to let anyone see it, but the whole point of a story is to be read.
No, Emma, the whole point of a story is to keep it up inside your head where it's the best thing ever and never write it down when you and then you have to face the reality of it.
Nope, totally not two creatives behind the mic on this
I was
project.
talking it over with Celine.
Yeah, I wish.
And she seems to agree that there's no real need to worry about Vita's safety. Even for a witch, she was always incredibly powerful, more than capable of looking after herself. So, if I were to stay here an extra year, then start searching for her after that...
Emma, we talked about this, right? As much as I'd like you to stick around, I think it's better to take care of the opportunities that won't wait. You only get one life to live. You have to make the most of it, instead of feeling obliged to hold back for someone else's sake. That's as true for me and all our other classmates as it is for you.
I suppose you're right. It's clear that something's still happening beneath the surface here in Erebonia. Something not even Vita had foreseen. And I'd bet anything it involves the Divine Knights and the mysteries surrounding them.
It's a strong possibility, Emma.
Also, what did we do with Ordine?
I want to discover the truth behind those mysteries, and I want to see Vita again.
I don't know. It's unclear how they work when the bond has been severed.
That seems like a giant dangling thread, that's all.
That's how I feel deep down, and that's what I think should be my purpose going forward. But that's not the most important reason I need to head out on that journey. The most important thing to me in the world is still you, Reen.
This is a very specifically chosen camera angle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to uncover the truth of the Divine Knights for your sake, just as much as for myself. After all, the legends surrounding them have been at the heart of so much of the trouble we've had to endure. That's why I'll get to the bottom of this and come back with the answers you deserve. Until then, stay safe and be well.
Man, if only witches wrote things down.
Oh, yeah, he's just right inside that skull.
Yeah, I was thinking that her chest must be clipping into his.
Oh, yeah, it's just a disaster everywhere we can't see.
The same goes for you.
And a little of where we can.
I'll be looking forward to the next time I see your smile.
Likewise.
I mean, they're so cute together. Sure would be a shame if they break up amicably between Cold Steel 2 and 3 and then you could go date Laura instead. Hee hee.
We'll add you to the party. We're gonna need a caster.
Alright. We got 2 more here, and I assume Sharon's gonna have a scene downstairs.
Yeah, probably.
And we haven't seen Celine, so there's her as well.
Your mirror's broken.
What are you looking at, Laura?
It's you, Reen. I'll show you.
I'm a vampire. Ah.
Oh, you and Monica got a picture taken together? You both look so happy in it, too.
That we do. Someone in the photography club kindly offered to take it for us.
Oh.
Very kind.
I thought it would make a fine souvenir of my time at the academy to take away with me.
He said something about plausible deniability. I don't really get it.
My mirror's on that being Rex. Oh well, it's a nice photo, and he got permission. For once. I never expected you and Monica would get so close. Between her and Fee, you kind of have a knack for becoming the best of friends with the ones you bump heads with first.
Please don't say that. I'm truly grateful to both of them for broadening my horizons. Meeting them enriched my life in ways I could have never pictured before. Truly, coming to this academy was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I didn't realize we'd made such a big impact on you.
Well, you did. And don't mind me, I'm just feeling a little emotional. This isn't like me at all now, is it? There's no harm in a few tears, I suppose. This will be my last time I can relax before my training, after all.
Yeah, you're not gonna get much rest in with the training you've got lined up.
I won't be learning the Arcade School's advanced techniques with training any less intense. I have no idea where we'll be conducting said training, but it will no doubt be as perilous as it will be dangerous.
I had to spend a month in the Isengard range as part of mine.
Is your dad alive? We last saw him fighting McBurn.
I feel like it would have come up if he had not survived that encounter.
I guess.
I don't think a month's going to cut it with what you're doing, though. It goes way beyond your average techniques.
Indeed. I'm anticipating that it will take at least half a year, if not more.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah.
This sounds like a 3-decade. I'm running out of words tonight.
Journey?
Not journey. It's fine.
Father's going to be with me.
Ordeal.
But with things as difficult as they are, part of me feels guilty for taking up his time.
You have butlers for that.
I don't know about that. I think him agreeing to train with you shows how much faith he has in your potential. Besides, in a lot of ways, this might be the best time to do it.
That is very true.
What's wrong?
Nothing at all. Regardless, I'd love to come and visit you should the opportunity present itself. And if it does, I'd like to formally request a duel with you to test how much the two of us have grown.
Let's not kid ourselves. We both know who's going to win that duel. But your invitation is all the motivation I need to get plenty of training in myself. Can't have you beating me too badly.
I hope you will.
Excuse me. All right, a lot of the higher innuendos floating around that conversation.
Where did we get that out of what we just had happen?
She kind of never really reacted to Duvalie at all, which I guess that is what it says, but like, it never seemed like she was in danger of it.
She didn't even mention that fight.
Maybe she's about to. The game's done that a couple of times. Nope. Okay.
All right.
Flower. Hello, Alisa.
Feeling sad about leaving the lacrosse club behind?
Yeah, I was really into it by the end. I think it'll make for some wonderful memories to look back fondly on in the years to come.
I can imagine. Does that mean you're not going to keep up with lacrosse and Ruhr?
I don't think I'll be able to. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any local teams I could join.
found one. You could build a stadium.
And even if there were, I doubt I'd have the time for sports. Just thinking about how busy I'll be makes my head spin. No, scratch that. Being busy is all the more reason I need to make time for exercise.
Yeah, that's the Arena Rhineford way. No sleep, never.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Speaking of people who are going to overdose on orbital charging stations.
Arena Rhineford's bed is vestigial.
Helping out with the Rhineford group sounds like a recipe for one all-nighter after another.
Not just yet, actually. I won't be helping until Grandfather shows me the ropes. As I am now, I doubt I'll be able to do much at all in the way of rebuilding the company. But you can bet I'll leave Mother speechless with how much progress I've made in a year's time.
I'm sure you can if you put your mind to it. And I know Sharon will always be willing to help you out if you need her.
She probably would, but then she'd just tell everything she did to Mother.
Alisa?
Oh, don't worry about it. I was just thinking about how blessed I am. I've got a wonderful family, a great club I'm part of, all of you as my classmates.
Oh, right. It took me a long time to realize the same thing, too. We really are one and the same.
Yeah.
Oh no, your face sprung a leak.
Alisa?
It's nothing, honestly. I'm just feeling a bit emotional all of a sudden. I don't know what's gotten into me. Nothing's wrong, though. I promise.
But...
Still, let's both make the most of our free day tomorrow. It's the last one we'll ever have as a class. The last thing any of us want to do is end it with regrets.
Yeah, agreed. Let's make it a day to remember for both of us.
So did she cry because we didn't pick her?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
That was my interpretation of that. That wasn't, oh, it's sad that the class is breaking apart. That is shutting that door.
I can smell Emma on you.
This is gonna be a heck of a free day, isn't it?
Yep.
It's gonna go great. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Especially now that we've established that the monster guide has entire extra sections.
Oh, there you are. You look bored, Celine.
You look dead.
Teeny bit.
I guess I am. My work's done at this point. I feel like I aged a few decades as soon as the war came to an end.
Come on now.
Feels a bit strange to be saying it after the fact, but you fought pretty well over in Crossbell. You've really mastered piloting Valimar.
I'd like to think so anyway. I feel like I could pull off just about anything with him now. And to think, I couldn't do half as much with him when I was first starting out.
You do realize you just admitted you were totally useless, right?
And goodbye, cat. Just open the door and punt her out.
I wonder if you're gonna be okay without us, you know?
You're the reason I'm not letting Emma stay with me.
You have to go.
Valimar must have drawn the short straw to end up with a budding awakener like you.
I'm sorry, who wiped out 2 robots?
Thanks for worrying about me all the time, Celine.
Excuse me, what makes you think I was worried about you?
Just about everything. From what I can tell, you've always worried about me. Back in the beginning, when I didn't know anything about piloting, you were always there to guide me through our battles. I doubt I would have ever come this far if you didn't have my back.
All those times you yelled, "This is a tough one."
So, thank you. For all of it.
Why do you always have to be like this? I feel for Emma, I really do.
I was just trying to thank you, you know. I didn't have any ulterior motives for doing it.
Then don't make it sound like you do. I swear, if you ever hurt her, I'll never forgive you. There are parts of the legends passed down in the clan that not even Emma and I know about.
That took a turn.
But just bear this one thing in mind. Divine Knights have incredible power, and they can become devils just as easily as they can become gods.
Don't worry, I know. And I won't forget. Anyone in my position needs to know the difference between right and wrong. I'm well aware of that.
That's fine then. Anyway, good luck, I guess. If you really need it, I can always come and help out.
Okay. Sure. Celine.
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that kind of felt like they had the you picked Emma conversation and another one that wouldn't have been like didn't have lines like you better not ever hurt her.
Huh.
And the transition was a little chunky.
Jarring. Also, keep on keeping on is weird dialogue in the mouth of that sassy cat.
She's learning. She's hanging out. It was that time hanging out with Crow. He was a bad influence. Speaking of bad influences, hello, criminal.
Oh, good evening, Masterine. I thought you had already retired for the evening. How would you like for me to put together some supper?
I appreciate the offer, but I think I've eaten more than I should have as it is. Your cooking really is delicious, Sharon. I was starting to miss it after not having it for so long.
It was my pleasure to cook for all of you again, so I pulled out all the stops with this one. Seeing all of you happily indulging my handiwork always makes every second of preparation worth it.
All 7 of them.
Is something the matter, Masterine?
Oh, I was just thinking about how you haven't changed a bit. I'm not sure it's my place to ask, but is everything all right over at Ouroboros?
It is absolutely not your place to ask. Thank you very much.
Are you looking for a job? I know there's some vacancies.
I can't help but wonder after how things turned out. Vita seemed really shocked.
I'm afraid I haven't a clue. No word of what's been happening in the society has reached my ears since then.
Oh, she's been shunned.
I have no idea where the second Anguis is now.
Shadow banned from Ouroboros.
Nor do I know what happened regarding the Phantasmal Blaze plan after the Chancellor declared he was taking it over. And quite frankly, none of it is my concern. The answers won't change who I am, and it won't suddenly cause me to shift priorities. I am and always will be a proud maid of the Reinford family. Not because of the freedom we enforcers are granted, but because that is simply who I am. Much like how you being the Ashen Chevalier doesn't change how you are also a proud member of Class 7.
I suppose you're right.
And no matter what happens to you in the future, never lose sight of who you really are.
Okay, dripping with meaning there.
It's almost time for me to return to Ruhr. But should you ever need me again, I will gladly rush to your side.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you can stay here for a while longer.
All right, well, that's the dorms. That's everybody. I am surprised that we didn't end up fighting Sharon or Claire at any point in this game. I thought for sure that was going to end up happening.
They foreshadowed it quite a lot, so yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, there's still time. There's clearly something up, some shenanigans coming.
They did harp quite a lot on how they were never going to betray us. Hey, what happens if you try going for Crow's room?
Good question. Where is Crow's room? This way. I didn't even think of that.
I thought they had to at least do one scene.
I was just looking for dots. That's all my brain could handle.
You are all going to be in for some tough times ahead. I can't go any farther now. But you can. So keep going forward.
Crow's final words changed our path forever. No. It's more like they gave us the encouragement we needed to step onto the right one. We only get one life, and we're the only ones who can live it. Thanks, Crow. I might not be leaving the Academy to pursue some noble goal like the others are, but I'll do what I can here. Although, if I have to keep taking time off for trips like that one to Crossbell, I can kiss my attendants goodbye. Well, I can try to make it so I'll never be in danger of repeating a year, unlike a certain someone.
No?
I think I've spent long enough looking backwards. Time to start looking forward again. Although, if anything, I should be getting back to my own room now that I've talked to everyone.
Oh, maybe that wouldn't have happened if we hadn't done it last.
Interesting. I'm sure Crow isn't there just forming himself from the floorboards like fucking Hellraiser. So yeah, that's it. We're honestly, I kind of want to keep going, but I am going to fall apart if we do. So
I know. If I thought it was a quick scene, I'd say let's go, but we can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, it's way too late. But yeah, it continues the game. Imagine it keeps going. I keep wanting to think like this game's not gonna catch me unawares like the first one did, but I know it's gonna. I just don't know when.
There's a free day and a flea market. And you know, the last time we crammed a bunch of people onto this campus, nothing bad happened.
Nothing at all. We got to run around and talk to everybody, and we rode a horse, and we got a balloon. Oh no. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.